This isn't gonna work well.
It's fun.
Sometimes he's naughty. Sometimes he's nice. But every time he's Dirt Guy. It's Dirt Guy Drive Time with your host, Dirt Guy.
Hey, welcome to Dirt Guy Drive Time. The never changing, well, it changes all the time. You know, I was coming up with some dramatic right there, but as it turns out, I lost steam halfway through my wonderful opening. Hey, this is a vlog. That's where I talk about stuff, talk about me mostly because my vlog, that's how it works. And, you know, I think I may have a little bit more to talk about today. First, right out of the chute, let me just tell you, the whole comment response thing, yeah, not so good at it lately. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to say, I'm too busy to be answering comments. But between both channels, and then I'm still getting emails at night that I got to respond to. I'm working out of the, I'm not making excuses. Just please know that I read them, and you guys are so encouraging, except the couple of jackholes I've had to bounce from the channel. Other than that, totally awesome. Well, there's an incredibly attractive young lady on a motorcycle with hardly any clothes on. I wish I could show you, but I don't look at that sort of thing because my wife is totally smoking hot. But yeah, anyway, some new leadership principles today. Something that I experimented with that thus far is proving to be very effective. First, little background, and grab some of this action. Way back in the day when I was little Dirt Guy, there was no drive time then, except driving my parents crazy. I think the jokes are coming back. Where was I? Oh yes, let's move forward. Back when I was a little Dirt Guy, my dad did a lot of traveling for business, and my mom would take him to the airport, drop him off, he'd fly away. It was like we were on vacation, and then my dad would fly home, and then my mother would go pick him up from the airport. Seems pretty mundane so far, right? However, all the way home from the airport, as the story goes, she's going, and Steven did this, and his sister did that, and Steven did this, and blah, blah, blah. By the time that man got home from LAX to Cerritos was like, I don't know, 45 minutes. By the time he got home, he was so whipped into a frenzy, he'd come yank me out of bed and just beat the shit out of me. I'm not kidding you. That's how it was in my house. You get two speeds. One, well, three speeds. First gear was like, I'll give you a teeny bit of attention because I have to. Second speed is, I don't even know you're in the house with me, so shut up. Third speed was beating the living shit out of you. There was a three-speed family, you know, frankly, and that's how I grew up. You know, it's like the typical American dream kind of family. That's why I'm the way I am, that kind of thing. So the crux of that little tale is the entire time Dad's away, Mom's telling Dad what little monsters we are and whipping him into a frenzy. How does that apply to today's management lesson? Let me tell you this. I realized something now that I've calmed down from my anger and kissed and made up with my team. I realized something that occurred to me last night in the hobby room. That's why we have it, baby. It's like what do they call Superman's place? The Cave of Despair? No, the Fortress of Solitude. Or Cave of Despair. That depends on the night, I guess. It occurred to me that my boss only shows up like every 6 weeks, 8 weeks. He's a very busy man. And in that period of time, he's like, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, he screwed up that, and he's doing that wrong, and he won't listen to me, and he, you know, it's seemingly innocuous, seemingly harmless, but I believe the entire time I'm lobbing in these little fart bombs, unwittingly, not intentionally. Well, there was a couple times it was intentional. Lobbing in these little bombs, and by the time he comes out to the job and sees all of us, it's a shitstorm. That's what it is. It's a shitstorm. And so then there's a lot of hurt feelings. There's a lot of angst amongst the ranks. That almost rhymed. Give me like a half a bonus point on that one. Angst within the ranks. And so I concluded then, and I had this conversation with my team, and they all seem agreeable. By the way, way different camaraderie the last couple of days. It's like almost fun to be at work. What the hell? Anyway, I told a couple of them that here's my new plan, and you can do what you want to do, but here's what I'm going to do. By the way, see that? Stepping away from the boss telling you how to do it, stepping in and we're all in this together, right? I've got my role, you've got yours. Let's just get our jobs done and go home and have a couple beers, all right? That's where we're at. I said, here's what I'm going to do, sir. From now on, I said, we've spent a lot of time when the boss asks the question, what happened there? And we say, well, he fucked up. What happened there? He screwed up. What happened there? He screwed up. Sometimes I'm the he, sometimes one of the assistants is the he, sometimes the other superintendent's the he. So in this attempt to not receive blame personally, it is a matter of transferring that blame to perhaps the responsible party. He screwed up. And so then the boss is like, hey, why'd you screw up? And it's like, no, but he screwed that up, sir. That kind of thing. That's not really conducive to a team, I would say. So what I told them is that's how we've been doing it, I think. That's my observation. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I've observed. So here's what I'm going to be doing from now on. If our boss walks through a guest room and points to some honked up piece of something and goes, what happened there? Instead of saying, well, one of my guys or I missed this or forgot this or honked this up, I'm going to say, we blew it there. We missed that. We did it. And then when people come along and they say, this is awesome, you guys are awesome. Yep, it's a great team. So I personally am not going to be singling out any of my team saying they honked up in front of the boss. We as a team honked up because the team wins or the team loses, frankly. You don't have a football game where the quarterback wins, but the rest of the team loses. They win or they don't win. The quarterback can't be a quarterback without his front line, without some wide ends, well, some tight ends. People go to prison as a tight end and they come out, forget it. Wide receiver, get it? It's a little joke. So that new philosophy, and between yesterday's kissing and making up, because I knew I had to do it. I can't live in that, and they can't live in that. I'm supposed to be some kind of a leader, I suppose, whatever. So I got to start by making amends, or mending, not making amends, mending the relationship. And then go from that to what is going to galvanize this team to function as a unit. And that's what I came up with. And it's not just saying we're a team, we're a family in this trailer, we got each other's back. That means we stand up together or we fall down together. We don't single anybody out as they are the bad guy. So anyway, it was well received. And I did that first thing this morning. I had that conversation individually with two of the guys. Just the attitude on the job. People are bouncing around. I listen to the radio chatter. I listen to them laugh in Spanish. You can laugh in English and you can laugh in Spanish. It's two different things. I'm here to tell you. I hear it all day. Laughing back and forth on the radios. And now that it's not glee so much, but that sort of energy level is now being transmitted into the subcontractors on the job. You see people with a little more spring in their step. You see a little bit higher quality of work. People willing to do things for you that maybe technically we screwed them up and so it's going to cost them money. Willing to do it. And it's this environment that's been established. Now, it could just last for a day. Hell, I don't know. I'm not a prognosticator. Well, I am, but I'm not a future seer person. That's a whole different video, homie. You don't even know. So I'm hoping it'll last. And then just one more quick thing. When the COVID hit and people did not want to come to my job site because they're all scared of getting the bug. Now they got to wear masks and we do all kinds of shit on the job. It was immediately dark. There was no glee. There was no spring in the step. And perhaps that initially came from me as the leader, transmitting that feeling into my team and them transmitting it into our subcontractors. So it's amazing that you can hear about it, read about it, and people talk about it. That's how you hear about it, I guess. That, the right leader in the right position can have a tremendous impact. And not necessarily because the entire world hears their words of wisdom or something. because that one guy disseminating that and transmitting that into his team, and that team transmitting it into a bigger team. It's a snowball effect, baby. Really, it's snowing and it's 93 degrees outside my truck right now. So there you go. That's my new management lesson. You can tell I've got some energy going now because it worked well. I'm praying by all that I hold sacred that it lasts. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope to see you tomorrow for my big Friday weekend wrap-up report right here on Dirt Guy Drive Time. Make sure and subscribe, like, follow, share, bow down and worship. Just kidding about the last part. My name is Steve Brown, and lead on.